Gather round, seekers of the strange and unexplained. Tonight, we're peering beyond the veil, into the chilling expanse where science fiction meets cosmic horror. I have for you 3 stories, whispers carried on stellar winds, tales of the unseen that will make you question the very fabric of your reality. These are the echoes from the void. Our first story is called The Static on Channel 9. It all started on a quiet Tuesday, in my grandfather's old cabin tucked away in the woods. He was a man who saw the universe differently. He used to tell me, "The stars don't just hold light, kid. They hold memories. Echoes of things that were, and things that are yet to be." That night, the old television set, a relic with a bulky back and a tiny screen, started acting up. It wasn't just the usual snow, that familiar hiss and dance of black and white dots. No, this was different. Shapes were forming in the static. Jagged lines, impossible geometries, things that seemed to writhe just at the edge of perception. I remembered something else my grandfather had mentioned, a local legend almost. Channel 9, a frequency that shouldn't exist, a dead channel that was never assigned in our region. Driven by a curiosity I couldn't explain, I reached for the dial. It clicked past Channel 8, and instead of silence, there was a crackle. Then, a voice. It was soft, almost a whisper, but it had a strange metallic quality, like the rustle of foil and the chime of a distant bell, all at once. It wasn't a broadcast from Earth. The cadence was wrong, the pauses too long. It was a warning, it said, from a place called Kepler 186f Colony 7, a colony that hasn't even been built yet. The voice was clear, yet chillingly distant. "Don't look at the moon tonight," it whispered. "The reflection is a lie." Of course, what do you do when someone tells you not to look? I looked. I stepped out onto the porch, the cold night air biting at my skin. The moon hung in the sky, huge and bright. But it wasn't the familiar pearly white. It was blinking. A slow, rhythmic pulse of light. It wasn't a celestial body anymore. It was an eye, a colossal ancient eye waking from a billion-year nap, and for the first time, I felt like a tiny insect under its unwavering gaze. I realized Grandpa was right. The stars hold memories, but some memories are better left forgotten. Now, let's travel from the quiet cabin to a lonely stretch of highway for our second tale. The Hitchhiker in the Helmet. If you've ever driven the desolate parts of old Route 66, long after the sun has bled out of the sky, you might have heard the stories. The locals whisper about him, a figure they call the Spacewalker. He stands by the side of the road, a silent sentinel in a cracked, vintage astronaut suit, the kind from the Apollo era. The visor is so dark, you can't see a face inside. He just stands there, thumb out, as if waiting for a ride to a destination not on any map. Most people just speed up, unnerved by the sight. But some, the brave or the foolish, have pulled over. My own uncle was one of them. He was a long-haul trucker, had seen it all, or so he thought. He saw the figure one moonless night, and thinking it was some kind of prank, pulled his rig to a stop. The figure climbed in without a word. My uncle said the air inside the cab instantly turned ice cold, the kind of cold that seeps into your bones. And the smell? It was like ozone after a lightning strike mixed with the dry, ancient dust of a place that hasn't seen air in millennia. The hitchhiker never spoke. He just raised a gloved hand and pointed, a single deliberate gesture, toward the constellation Orion hanging brightly in the night sky. My uncle, thoroughly spooked, drove for what felt like an eternity. He finally risked a glance in his rearview mirror. The passenger seat was empty. But on the dashboard, where the astronaut had pointed, were 5 glowing fingerprints, shimmering with a faint, otherworldly light. They faded after a few minutes, but the memory never did. The legend says he's not looking for a ride home. He's looking for a replacement, someone to take his place, to continue his silent watch among the stars. So if you see him on that lonely road, maybe it's best to just keep driving. For our final story, we descend into a place where time itself comes undone. This is the clock that ran backward. Hidden away in the cobweb-choked basement of a long derelict observatory sits a clock. It's an ornate brass contraption, not of this time, but this clock doesn't track seconds or minutes. Its intricate face is marked with cryptic symbols, and its purpose, according to the faded blueprints I found, is to track events, significant cosmic alignments, paradigm shifts, the birth and death of ideas. For decades, it had been silent, a forgotten monument to a forgotten science. Then, one night, it started, not with a tick, but with a groan. The massive gears, silent for so long, began to grind in reverse. The event hand, a slender sliver of obsidian, started crawling backward across the dial. At first, I thought it was just a mechanical failure, but then I noticed the silence. The chirping of crickets outside the observatory had stopped. The rustle of leaves in the woods, gone. An unnatural stillness had fallen over the world. I rushed outside, my heart pounding. The world was wrong. I saw a flock of birds frozen mid-air. Then suddenly they flew backward, retracing their path across the sky. The very stars above were rearranging themselves, shifting like pieces on a celestial game board played by an unseen hand. In that horrifying moment, I understood. We aren't living on a simple planet of soil and stone. We are living inside something else. A program, a simulation, and someone or something had just hit the rewind button. The last thing I saw before the sky dissolved into a waterfall of digital static was a hand. A colossal, reality-bending hand reaching down from the chaos to reset the horizon, to start the whole game over. 3 stories, 3 glimpses into the abyss. Is it just fiction? Or are these tales echoes of a truth too vast for us to comprehend? Perhaps the next time you see static on a screen, or a lonely figure on a dark road, or feel a moment of unsettling déjà vu, you'll remember these stories. You'll remember the echoes from the void. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to look up at the stars, but be careful what you look for. You might just find it. Follow for more tales from the edge of reality.